Gaming with Boomers. Yeah. Welcome back to Not Gaming with Boomers. We are having another cat episode because, to be frank, we're having another episode with one of our cats. If you have been following our channel, you know that we've had several videos on not so happy things happening with our rescue cats, which if you're following us, you know that we rescue cats. We have been doing that for about 12 years, and we have many rescue cats. A couple months ago, we literally lost our cat Jack when he got out of the house early one morning, and we have not seen him since. The weather is mild, so we are hopeful that he will wander his way back. He's just having a kitty vacation, hopefully, and will make his way back to us. But so far, no sign of him. And then a couple of weeks ago, two of our cats, Darth and Mike, developed FIP, which is feline infectious peritonitis. It's a form of coronavirus, and it basically destroys the liver. And they died within 3 days of one another, which is really rare. All cats have FIP within them, but it doesn't always trigger and become active. And in those two it did, and just coincidentally right at about the same time. So it's been devastating. It's been very difficult as far as that's concerned in the last couple of months. So now we have a new issue with our little cat Shark. I'll give you a little background on her. She is the daughter of our cat Fog, who is the daughter of our OG stray Wicked, who was the original stray we saw here shortly after moving here. And she had several litters outside before we lured her inside with her last litter. So Fog was born outside and lived outside. We fed her and Wicked and the strays on our back porch at the time. And when Fog became pregnant and went into labor, she came to the door, and we opened the door and she came in, and we were able to get her into a birthing room, and she happily gave birth and stayed in the rest of the time along with her kittens. Unfortunately, Fog also died of FIP. That was really sad. She just really wasted away quickly. But Shark is her daughter, and Shark is something special. She's named Shark for a reason. I had a good friend who had a childhood cat named Shark, and I thought that was the coolest ever. So I was determined to name a cat Shark if ever the opportunity presented itself, and it did in Shark. When Shark was born, of course, all kittens are born with their eyes closed, so they're blind as bats, and it takes a while for their eyes to open. And Shark wasn't about to wait. We had a little birthing basket for Fog in her litter, and everybody's all cuddled in and happy staying put. And there's Miss Shark going, nope, I want out. So she would wander out of the birthing basket and wander all over the room to find the door out of the room. And there's, furniture everywhere and all sorts of obstacles, and she never bumped into a thing with her little eyes closed. She was part bat, apparently, and would just, I guess, meow, and it would bounce back, and she'd know not to keep going in a direction. But in fact, her eyes stayed closed a lot longer than the other kittens, and she was a runt. And so she was always tiny. She's now just large kitten sized or very small adult sized. And she runs the house full of attitude. And why we named her Shark is that when she was still in the birthing room and before they were kind of let out to roam the house, she would come find any of us standing in there and nibble your toes. So we named her Shark. That was my perfect opportunity to name her Shark. So she's always been tiny, but rambunctious, runs the house, very demanding. She's always had a good appetite, but been thin, on the thinner side of a healthy weight. And she developed stomatitis. Many of our cats have stomatitis. It's an immune system issue. where stress or something will trigger it, and they'll develop sores on their skin, usually their head, or in their mouth and their gums. And so she would drop weight because she'd have these sores, and she'd sleep a lot more and just scratch herself bloody and not want to eat because her mouth was sore. So she was, and the other cats that have stomatitis were put on steroid shots, and she's been on steroid shots for several years. And when they stopped being quite as effective, then she went on these drops that aren't as strong as the steroid drops, but she has those about every 3 days, and then she has steroid shots every 2 to 3 months. So, and she was going along pretty well. She was maintaining a low, healthy weight, certainly active. But lately she was acting more lethargic. She had to have several teeth pulled, all but 4, 2 up and 2 below. So we thought that was why she wasn't eating and she was lethargic, is because her mouth hurt. They pulled the teeth. She ate that same night. She just went through that like a trooper. But she was still lethargic. Her stomatitis had cleared. And so we couldn't figure out what was going on with her. We took her back to our wonderful Dr. Stephanie, who did some testing and called back this past week and said, well, she looks great in everything. Her mouth is healed up. The stomatitis is clear. She's gained a few ounces, so she's not still dropping weight. And she said, I've not seen this before in a thin cat, but your cat has diabetes. Now, it is really rare for a cat who isn't born diabetic to develop diabetes mellitus type 2 diabetes without being a chubby kitty. And we think it is the stress of the stomatitis and other things. Basically, she just doesn't know why. It just has happened, and it's because it's one of our cats, and it's always something outrageous that doesn't usually happen. So we have to bring her in the next 2-3 weeks, once a week, to have her blood sugar checked again. She was running blood sugars of 350 and above. And normal for cats and humans is between 70 and 110, so she's off the scale. But our doctor wants to keep checking because cats, when they're stressed, like animals and people, your blood sugar raises when you're stressed. So we didn't want to medicate her with it just being she's super stressed. Also, we wanted to make sure she didn't need insulin, because there is now an oral medication, a pill that cats can have before insulin. As long as they've never been on insulin, they can have this, and it's called Bexacat, Bexacat. There didn't used to be oral medication for cats with diabetes. There was for dogs, but the cats couldn't tolerate it. Now there is. So we're going to probably start her on Bexacat and then go to insulin if necessary. Now our family, because we have so many kitties and who have had such serious issues over the years, we have had to euthanize our kitties before, because they just, their quality of life is going to be zero if it's nothing but vet visits and treatments they don't understand and scare the heck out of them. But Shark is healthy otherwise, and diabetes is very treatable if it's kept under control. Their quality of life is fine. Our vet works right up the street, so it's not a huge commute to get to the vet and back for treatment. So we are going to go ahead and probably start her on Bexacat here soon. So it's bad news, but it's treatable. And sadly for us, usually when one of our kitties gets something, it's bad, terminal, awful, like FIP. And this is not, so we are tickled about that she has something treatable. Hopefully she will tolerate everything well, and we'll get her under control, and we'll have her running the household for many years to come. She's something special. All of our babies are something special, but if you've had several pets or children, it's the same way. There's some that stand out in ways because they're just so in your face. And that is Miss Shark. And because she's so tiny, her being like that is sort of delightful to see, because you know that she may be tiny, but she is sassy, and that's good. It means we'll have her a long time. So I wanted to make this video so in case there are other, and I know there are other people out there who have diabetic pets, and wanted to share our journey. And if you want to share your journey, we'd appreciate it. We've never had a diabetic cat, so if you have advice or things to watch out for, or anything like that, throw it down in the comments. We would absolutely be eternally grateful, because this one is new to us, and we would like to do our best for little Miss Shark. And we just love our Boomer family out here. We don't get comments for whatever reason. At least we don't get mean comments, but we don't get any comments, and we'd really, really love to hear from our Boomer family. Doesn't have to be about cats, just a hi, tell us about yourself. We would love it. So thank you for joining us. I will keep you posted on how little Shark does, and I will speak to you soon. Thank you so much. We love you all.